Hello everyone, welcome to today's activity, pixel coloring. So before we begin, first we should learn a little bit about pixels. So maybe you've looked really closely at your TV or your computer screen and you noticed little rectangles that are made up of different colors. These are what we know as pixels, and they are the basic color units of an image on a screen. So each little rectangle you see is a combination of red, green, and blue. And having more pixels on the screen means that the image will have a higher resolution, which means that it'll be a sharper image and it'll be much more clear when you're viewing it. So now let's look at how computers interpret color. So on a basic level, computers need to be told exactly what to do, as they don't have a mind of their own. So for every procedure, we must tell them in detail of every step. Computers read information that is stored in little data units known as bytes. And bytes are represented by the numbers 0 and 1. This format of 0 and 1 is known as binary code. Now, when looking at color, binary code numbers will tell the computer how much red, green, and blue is present in each pixel. In order to communicate with computers, programmers have created programming languages, which are a mixture of English and computer language, and this makes it easier to tell the computer what to do. So one example of this is known as hex code. Hex code takes the data from binary code and formats it in a different way so that it is easier for humans to understand. There's also hex code for colors, and it is formatted as #, RR, GG, BB. So the R's, G's, and B's represent the amount of red, green, and blue in a pixel. The highest amount of one color that a pixel can have is represented by FF, and the lowest amount is represented by 0, 0. So if I were to have a pixel that is only red, the hex code would say #, FF 0, 0, 0, 0, with the two R's being represented by FF and the GG and BB being represented by 0, 0. Another example of using programming to allow for easier communication with computers is with today's activity, pixel coloring. All right, everyone. So in order to start with our activity, we want to go to the provided pixel art coloring file, and we're going to click File, and then we're going to click Make a Copy. So you should get a little pop-up that looks like this, and you're going to press OK. And now we can begin our activity. So first I'll talk about the black and white page. Now this page will allow us to make pixel art using only the colors black and white. And in order to do this, we can select any square, and say if I wanted to make the square white, I can press 0, and then I'll press enter. And as you can see, the square is now white. If I wanted to make the square black, I could press 1 and enter, and now the square would be black. You can take some time, make your own pixel art using the number 1 for black squares and 0 for white squares. Maybe you could even come up with something that looks like this. So now let's go to the color page. This page will allow us to do basically the same thing, but with more colors to choose from. So in order to start changing the colors of these pixels, I can just type in the number that corresponds to the color that I want to choose from the legend. So if I wanted this purple color over here, I could press 7 and press enter, and now this square will be purple. I could do the same if I wanted this red color, press 2 and enter, or if I wanted this pink color, I could press 8 and enter, and so on. So once again, you can take your time here, create anything you want, If you can't think of anything to draw, you can go to Google Images and type in pixel art, and you'll be able to see some pictures that you can try to recreate. So I hope you guys learned something new today, and I hope you have a lot of fun getting creative and creating your very own pixel art. Enjoy the activity.